So,
But
do you think Fresh and Fit is good for what they're doing? Because aren't they trying to do that?
They're
I feel like
shaming
they.
women into it. They're not educating women. Like
it's
they're
almost like Howard Stern. They just took Howard Stern and put it in a different kind of play. That's all it is like the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, I agree because that's not a show that I whatever. But what I'm saying is their initial thing is trying to get them to understand the difference. They do it in a sensationalist Howard Stern type of way, but the baseline of that is the shaming of that is them having that conversation just in the totally wrong way to have that conversation, but they having a conversation.
But let's just be honest. When you carry yourself that way, that's how people look at you and that's how people talk to you. That's why I don't even understand why that's even, let's just be honest. People have always shamed and talked down on people who act like that. They have. And now that we see it, we're like, oh, that's so mean. You hurt me. But that's just, it's always been that way. People have always shamed, but now we out here saving them. I don't know.
I never saved them, but I definitely ain't shame them. I wasn't judging them.
You should definitely not try to hurt somebody. You should definitely try to educate somebody. Like, listen, you should change the way you're doing things, because the way you're doing it, because maybe they weren't taught the right way to do it. The way you're doing it is coming off a little,
Saying them having a conversation, or the women that are using illicit means to get attention. Like, which one are you saying?
What do you mean illicit means to get attention?
So, like, you were saying you threw your error in there when you said floozy. I haven't heard that word in a long time. When you said that they being floozy so that they could get attention from men. Were you talking about them, or were you talking about like the sensational content creation where they just like SBE, the shame, blame, explain? Because I guess that's what that would be, right? Minus the shame, blame, explain. Well, I guess we can just go straight to explain. But so it's a belief that if you don't shock somebody into changing, this is some of the content creators' philosophy, that you need to shock people into changing, and then you can get them the explanation when they see how the error of their ways in real time. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that works?
I think that there's a way to so I think that they are the way they're treating people is a little nasty, right? Mm-hmm. But if we must be real, if we take away this time that we're in now, that's how people looked at that. It probably didn't come out the way we're able to video it and see how it's coming out, but that's how people talk about people who behave that way. It just wasn't videotaped, and we weren't talking about it constantly over and over again, and you didn't see them and you're like, oh, that kind of looked bad once it's kind of when you videotape something, it didn't look so bad, you didn't think it was that bad, but then you go back and look and you're like, oh, that was pretty bad, but people have been doing that for years. They've always shamed, probably even more so back in the day because it was really looked down upon. And so now, because it's kind of like liberate yourself, you should be able to, sex who you want whenever you want, and you can walk around with your nipples out. It's okay. It's your nipple. We deserve to all see it. It's just so now we're just living a different time where everybody's liberated. And so now it's like, you don't talk about
liberate the nipples. What?
What a tangent.
No, you was about to say
yeah. So here's the thing, right? Is like there are so many of those content creators out here pointing fingers and calling out names and doing the sensational stuff, right? And they've been at it for a little while now. Have we seen any progress? Have we seen the numbers dwindle? Have we seen these women start to cover themselves up?
And they keep on the show.
Right. So it's not actually working, right? And so I hear people all the time say, bring shame back, bring shame back. Your tactics of shaming people, it's not deterring anybody. It's just not working. So you can continue to do it. There isn't actually a solution in it. And I think that's why people are starting to have that conversation of like, maybe there's another way to do this. Maybe shaming isn't the way to do it. Maybe it's more so education or, giving people other opportunities to see things differently. Because like, it's not working.
Let me tell you,
time.
and this is the thing. It's almost like the music industry right now, right? People, as long as there's money attached to it, people will continue to go for that. It has been rewarded. Every time you like that video, she's getting sponsors. She's getting something out of the deal. It's almost like another form of porn, whatever, Playboy magazine, whatever you want to call it. So it's just not gonna go. And the thing about it is, this is the thing. Men get, and I told y'all this over and over again, men get so mad when they see women who are halfway naked on the internet. And I would say to you, be happy it's in front of you, because now you know if you choose her, what you're getting. She is putting it out there. Stop trying to change her. You can't change that woman. You can't. If she has it in her to even do that, it was already in her. Because some of us, no matter how much money, you don't think that millions of dollars look good. I'm like, OnlyFans, but I'm never gonna do that, because inside me, that's just not. I don't eat. No.
Yeah, I don't agree that shame isn't working, because the thing is,
go ahead.
Even though you may not see the initial results right now, but let's get a fresh and fit and a more wider view, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why most in times they put these women on the show is for monetary, for sure. There's a great benefit to financial benefit from them having these girls on the show.
Correct.
But also, the thing is what you see them. Another reason why they bring these women on the show is because, like we had a previous conversation, a lot of women listen to Beyonce, whether they're educated or not. A lot of women exit these bikini outfits, or they go to the gym with these outfits, right? A lot of the mindsets and the behaviors are the same across majority levels of the women. So when they have the conversation with these women, and they have literally a degree, they got master's degree, PhDs, they lawyers, doctors, nurses, whatever, and they're having conversations with these women and breaking down the actual reasoning and logic that they're actually trying to present to people. And they're like, when these guys are having these debates with these women, they're like, let's think about the logic that these women are sharing right now and how this don't make no sense. But yet to them, it makes sense. And they have no reason to think outside of it, because nobody actually challenged the thought. So granted, you can say what you want about the Fresh and Fit boys and whatnot, but the reality is they're having conversations that other men never thought to have, or didn't really see the reason to have, with women that look like the women that they want to talk to, in the hopes that maybe they'll save one, and they would actually begin to actually have a real conversation with these women and challenge the logic. But the thing is whether you teach hundreds of thousands of people the right way to go, your job is to plant the seed. And what the people do with that seed is up to them. So I listen to the thought processes. I listen to the arguments. That's what I'd be looking into. Like, I don't think that you should be literally just piling on women just because they make dumb decisions like men make dumb decisions. However, I don't think it's against the law for you to tell somebody that was a stupid decision and that make no sense.
It's so funny. I watched the Jessica, what's her name? The girl, no, the Sexy Red in Jessica. I guess it was on the Breakfast Club. And I saw that it was an interview where Sexy Red was mad at her for making a comment. And her name, Jessica, what's the comedian name? She used to be on Instagram. Did y'all see that? Well, anyway, I guess she had made comments speaking against some of the things that the way Sexy Red behaves. And Sexy Red felt like, listen, I don't mess with you because I don't like how you said what you said. So she was coming at her like, I don't have anything against you, but there's some things that you do basically that I just don't agree with. It's not because I have anything against you, but it's just, And so when I heard Sexy Red, so when I looked at her, this is just me, the way I looked at her, I don't think some people see anything wrong, and it may be the way they were raised with what they do. in her mind, she is genuinely not doing anything wrong. She hasn't been exposed to, the way maybe Inaz was raised, or the way I was raised. So in their mind, this is normal. I'm not understanding where you're coming from. Why do you have a problem with me? Like, she really wasn't. I don't think she was able to see that. That's a little distasteful. Like, I don't think she was. And so in that sense, I do think that teaching people, like, hey, come on over here. Let me teach you another way to do this. Okay. I think that is important, because some people just don't know.